I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And breaking news that dropped last night during the Sunday Night Football contest is that the Atlanta Falcons have officially fired head coach Dan Quinn. And along with him, they have fired general manager Thomas Dimitroff. Now, I previously did a video about what head coaches should be fired, and I mentioned Dan Quinn as one of the coaches that should be fired right now. And I know this spells good news for Falcons fans, as they were clamoring for Dan Quinn to be gone even after last season. So I know the Falcon fans are happy. It's just interesting to see what direction this team is going to head going forward, especially since Dan Quinn was hired to fix and shore up a defense that was bad when he came in as the Falcons head coach. And under him, let's just face it, the defense is still the weakest spot of this Atlanta Falcons team. Now, it's been mostly downhill ever since the 28-3 blown lead for this Atlanta Falcons franchise. They have blown a couple of these this season. Of course, one to my Bears. Just needed to remind you guys. But this defense has not played well. It has struggled in every single game this year. Even though the game against Carolina, I feel, was the defense's best outing, it still struggled against the Christian McCaffrey-less Carolina Panthers offense. So just seeing that, it was just doomed and spelled for Dan Quinn to ultimately be out the door. Now, I did not expect them to let go of Thomas Dimitroff, but I feel that move was also warranted too, because Atlanta has missed on some draft picks. They had some free agents here and there, but I just don't feel that they got the right pieces to bring in on defense to shore up things on that side of the football. Now, they did hit on Calvin Ridley, who is turning out to be a really good stud wide receiver, a very good compliment to Julio Jones. Todd Gurley is starting to resurge a bit, so you still have that going for you. But even with the Dan Quinn team, it has been a lot of times with this Atlanta Falcons team that they've blown leads. They haven't really managed the clock well. They haven't ran the football when they're up big in games, which running the football is going to kill your clock and manage the time of possession, so the other team doesn't have as much opportunity to come back in games which you are ahead in. And I feel Dan Quinn has ultimately failed more times than not in late game situations with clock management and also with shoring up wins that should be theirs before teams ultimately come back on them and beat them. But like I said, my Bears, yeah, we did that too. We beat them. But I just feel that this Falcons team, with the firings of both Quinn and also Thomas Dimitroff as well, I can see this Falcons team trying to head in a new direction going forward. Not just rebuild. I think this Falcons team just needs to retool, because they have the offensive pieces now to contend with any team in this league. You have Matt Ryan. While he's not the 2016 MVP quarterback that we saw, he is still absolutely one of the top 15 quarterbacks in this league. You have Julio Jones. Even though he's been struggling with injuries this season, he's still one of the best wide receivers in football. You have Todd Gurley, who's resurging. And you have Calvin Ridley, who has turned out to be a very good stud wide receiver in this league. And they ultimately picked up Hayden Hurst in free agency to replace Austin Hooper at the tight end position. So the Atlanta Falcons offense is a very potent offense and is a very strong offense, but it's mismanaged at times when they have the leads, because they still become this pass-happy football team, and it's not really a successful pass-happy football team when they have leads. So even though I still think the offense is one of the better offenses in this league. The defense, let's just face it, has been awful. They've been having tackling issues. They've been having issues holding on to leads. And that was Dan Quinn's strength. So ultimately, starting 0-5 when you have a roster constructed as it does right now to be a very competitive team in this league is very troubling. Even though I personally felt Dan Quinn should have been let go after last season, especially disappointing in 2018 and 19, I just feel it was time for change in that Atlanta Falcons locker room. Now, also with Thomas Dimitroff being fired, it's interesting to see what direction the organization is really going to take, because at the end of the day, both firings means they're going to clean house and get a new structure in, and also probably do some roster turnover, to be honest. I think it's more needed on the defensive side of the ball. Even though Grady Jarrett is one of the better defensive tackles in the game, you have Desmond Trufant walk out of the door. And even though you drafted A.J. Terrell, I still don't think this Falcons secondary is necessarily compatible to hold up in games. The linebacking core, I feel, is the weakest spot on this defense, and it definitely needs some shoring up. So whatever regime is going to come in, I think they have a good amount of work to do on restructuring this roster and getting them back to a contending team like they were in 2016 and 2017. The pieces are there on offense. The defense can use some overhaul and some work. But with that, I still think this Atlanta Falcons team has the pieces that it takes to get back to that contending team in a quick way. There's no need for a rebuild in Atlanta because you still have an offense who can score with the best of them. It's just this defense has not been good, and it was Dan Quinn's strength, and it's been the weakest part of this Atlanta Falcons team. And it's been holding them back, I feel, especially the last 2 years, was the defense not just being healthy, but I feel schematic-wise, it's just not there with this Atlanta Falcons team. So it was time for change, and I know Falcon fans are happy. Falcon fans have been waiting on this day. So I'm happy for y'all, because I'm glad that this team is finally going to get to see some change that it desperately needs. Not to say I wish any man out of a job, but it came to a point where this Atlanta Falcons team just really needed a change of voice, a change of personality, a change of scheme, especially with the 0-5 start that should not have been 0-5, especially with the blown leads that they have this year and over the past as well. So Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff are ultimately out with the Falcons organization ASAP. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Make sure you like the video, comment your thoughts down below on what you think of the Falcons firing, and also subscribe to the channel because we are still on a 1,000 subscriber grind, and I cannot get there without the help of you guys and with the support of you guys. So click that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you will not miss a video. But that's all I have for you guys. APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys have a great and excellent day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. Wanna thank my friends, my sister, and my brother.